There's a word we use casually, wife. We say it like it's simple, like it's just the next step after dating. But it's not. Wife means forever. Wife means I choose you for the rest of my life. Wife means, of all the people on this planet, you are the one I want beside me until I die. That's not casual. That's the biggest decision any person ever makes. Now think about Elon Musk. He's been married 3 times. 3 times he said forever. 3 times it ended. The richest man on earth capable of solving problems that baffle governments has not solved this one. But what if he tried again? What if, somewhere in his future, there's a woman he would choose? Not to date, not to have a relationship with, to marry, to commit to permanently, to call his wife for the rest of his days? What would he look for? What would be different this time? What would make him believe that forever was finally possible? Stay with me, because understanding what Elon Musk might look for in a future wife reveals something profound about what marriage actually requires. For him, and for you, we often confuse what makes someone exciting to date with what makes someone right to marry. They're not the same thing. Dating is about chemistry, that spark, that electricity, the thrill of something new. Dating can survive on excitement alone, on novelty, on the high of discovery. But marriage? Marriage needs something deeper, something that persists when the novelty fades, when the excitement becomes familiarity, when you've seen each other at your absolute worst, when the romance is replaced by reality. What survives then? Only what was built on something more than spark. Only the qualities that create lasting partnership. Only the foundation that holds when everything else shifts. Elon Musk has experienced the difference between dating and marriage. He's experienced the difference between choosing someone for now and choosing someone for forever. And those choices didn't always work. The question isn't just who he's attracted to. It's who he would bet his remaining decades on, who he would sign up to grow old with, who he would trust with the most permanent commitment a human can make. That's a different question entirely, and it deserves a different answer. Here's what might surprise you. What Elon Musk looks for in a wife probably isn't what made his past marriages happen. Let me explain. His past marriages were often based on connection in the moment, chemistry, attraction, alignment at that particular point in life. And those things are real. They matter, but they're not enough for forever. Because people change, circumstances change. The person you are at 30 isn't the person you are at 50. The life you're living during courtship isn't the life you're living during crisis. Marriages that last aren't built on who someone is right now. They're built on who someone can become, on how they respond to change, on the core qualities that persist regardless of circumstance. This is the twist. If Elon Musk is looking for a future wife, he wouldn't just look for present compatibility. He would look for permanent qualities, traits that don't shift with time, character that holds under pressure, foundation that remains when everything else transforms. His past marriages may have been based on who someone was. His future marriage would need to be based on who someone is at their core and will always be. That's a fundamentally different kind of assessment, and it requires looking at different qualities entirely. The first thing Elon Musk might look for is loyalty that survives everything. Not fair weather loyalty, not loyalty when things are good. Loyalty through the storms, through the public attacks, through the failures, through the moments when the whole world turns against him. Loyalty that says, I chose you, and I keep choosing you, no matter what. This kind of loyalty is rare. Most people are loyal when it's easy, when association benefits them, when the person they're with is winning. But true marriage-level loyalty persists through losing too, through humiliation, through difficulty, through moments when walking away would be the easier choice. Elon's life will never be calm. There will always be another crisis, another controversy, another moment when being associated with him is costly. A wife would need to be someone who stays anyway, not from weakness or dependency, but from genuine, chosen, deliberate loyalty. She would have to be someone who, when the world attacks, stands closer, when the pressure mounts, holds tighter, when the cost of staying rises, pays it willingly. That's wife-level loyalty, and it's probably non-negotiable for someone whose life is perpetual storm. The second quality is genuine partnership. Not just companionship, partnership. There's a difference. Companionship is being together, sharing space, enjoying each other's company. It's pleasant, it's comfortable, but it's not enough for marriage. Partnership is building together, creating something, moving toward shared purpose, combining strengths toward mutual goals. Elon Musk is a builder. His entire existence is about creating companies, technologies, visions, legacies. A wife who is merely a companion would feel insufficient, pleasant but parallel, nice but not integrated, together but not truly partnered. He would need someone who builds alongside him, not necessarily in his companies, that's not required, but building something, her own projects, her own contributions, her own creations, so that their marriage is a partnership of builders, two people creating, each in their own domain, each respecting the other's work, each supporting the other's building. This creates genuine partnership, not just someone to come home to, but someone building a life with him, actively, intentionally, creatively. That's the difference between a girlfriend and a wife. A wife is a partner, a co-builder, someone whose presence adds to the construction, not just the comfort. The third quality is profound, the ability to hold the whole truth of who he is, not the curated version, not the public image, the whole truth. The fears he never admits publicly, the insecurities behind the confidence, the doubts that plague him at 3 a.m., the parts he hides because they don't fit the narrative. A wife would need to know all of this and hold it without judgment, without using it against him, without letting it change her love. This requires someone trustworthy at the deepest level, someone who can hear his darkest thoughts and not flinch, someone who can know his worst moments and love him anyway, someone who becomes the keeper of secrets he can't tell anyone else. This is vulnerability's ultimate requirement, not just being vulnerable once, but being vulnerable forever with someone who proves they can handle it, who never betrays the truth they've been given, who holds the whole reality of who you are with reverence and protection. For someone as public as Elon, whose image is constantly managed, having one person who knows everything would be essential. One person with whom he doesn't perform, one person who holds the complete picture. That person would have to be his wife, and she would have to be worthy of that responsibility. The fourth quality is paradoxical but essential, independence that chooses interdependence. Let me explain. A wife for Elon couldn't be dependent on him, couldn't need him for identity, couldn't derive worth from being with him, couldn't lose herself in his shadow. That kind of dependence creates resentment, creates imbalance, creates a relationship where one person is orbiting another rather than standing alongside. But pure independence doesn't work either. Someone so independent they don't need the relationship can't create genuine marriage. They're self-sufficient to the point of disconnection, able to leave at any moment because they don't truly need to stay. The balance is independence that chooses interdependence. Someone fully capable of life alone, fully whole on their own, fully complete without him, but who chooses to intertwine anyway, who deliberately creates mutual dependency, who says, I don't need you to survive, but I choose to need you for thriving. This is mature love, the love of two whole people who could stand alone but choose to stand together, who could survive separately but choose to thrive together, who maintain individual identity while building shared identity. That balance is essential for lasting marriage, and it's especially essential for marriage with someone like Elon, whose world could easily absorb anyone who isn't firmly rooted in their own identity. The fifth quality is commitment to perpetual growth. Marriage is decades, potentially 50 or 60 years together. People change enormously over that time. The question isn't whether both people will change. They will. The question is whether they'll grow together or apart, whether their growth trajectories will align or diverge, whether they'll become more compatible over time or less. A wife for Elon would need to be committed to growth, not static, not this is who I am, take it or leave it, but continually evolving, learning, developing, becoming more. This creates a partner who stays interesting, who is different in year 20 than year 1, who continues to have new perspectives, new insights, new dimensions to discover. It also creates a partner who can grow alongside his changes, because Elon won't stay static either. He'll evolve. His priorities will shift. His focus will change. A wife committed to growth can evolve alongside him, can adapt as he adapts, can remain aligned through transformation. But a static partner would fall behind, would become irrelevant, would stop fitting as both people change. Growth commitment is essential for forever, because forever is a long time to stay the same. The sixth quality might be the most important for long-term marriage. Peace as the default state, not constant drama, not ongoing conflict, not relationship that feels like work. Peace, calm, ease. The sense that being together is restful, not exhausting. Elon's life is drama. Every day brings new conflict, new challenges, new intensity. His external world is chaos. If his internal world, his marriage, is also chaos, there's no relief, no sanctuary, no place where the fighting stops. A wife would need to be someone whose presence is peace, not because nothing ever bothers her, not because she's passive, but because she's developed the capacity for tranquility. Conflicts get resolved rather than escalated. Problems get discussed rather than dramatized. The relationship itself is sanctuary, not another battlefield. This peaceful default is rare. Many people are wired for drama. They create conflict because calm feels boring. They escalate because intensity feels like passion. But for lasting marriage with someone whose life is already intense, peace is essential. Peace is the gift. Peace is what makes forever actually sustainable. The seventh quality is shared values at the deepest level, not surface preferences, not liking the same movies or foods, but fundamental values about what life means, what matters, what's worth sacrificing for. Elon values humanity's future, multi-generational thinking, contribution over consumption, progress over comfort. A wife would need to share these values not identically but compatibly. She would need to understand why his work matters, why he's willing to sacrifice ordinary pleasures for extraordinary contribution, why his life is organized the way it is. If her values conflict at the fundamental level, if she values security over risk, comfort over contribution, present over future, the marriage will strain. She'll resent his priorities. He'll feel misunderstood. The value mismatch will create ongoing friction. But shared values at the core, that creates alignment, understanding, support that isn't forced but natural, because she genuinely values what he's building too. Not because he wants her to, because she actually does. Now let me turn this toward you. Because the qualities Elon Musk might look for in a wife aren't unique to him. They're the qualities that make any marriage work. Loyalty that survives storms. Genuine partnership, not just companionship. The capacity to hold complete truth. Independence that chooses interdependence. Commitment to perpetual growth. Peace as the default state. Shared values at the deepest level. These aren't just billionaire requirements. They're human requirements. The foundations of lasting marriage, regardless of circumstance. Ask yourself, do you embody these qualities? Are you loyal through difficulty? Are you a genuine partner? Can you hold someone's whole truth? Are you independent yet choosing interdependence? Are you committed to growth? Do you create peace? Do you know your own values deeply enough to recognize shared ones? These are the questions that determine whether you're ready for lasting marriage. Not just ready to date, ready to marry, ready for forever. And if you find gaps in these qualities, areas where you fall short, that's not defeat. That's opportunity. Because these qualities can be developed. Loyalty can be practiced. Partnership can be learned. Truth-holding can be cultivated. Independence can be built. Growth can be committed to. Peace can be developed. Values can be clarified. You can become someone worthy of lasting marriage, not by accident, by intention, by doing the work to develop these qualities in yourself. Imagine this. Years from now, Elon Musk has found her, the woman who became his wife, not because she was perfect, not because she checked every box, but because she had the qualities that last. She was loyal when staying was costly. She built alongside him, her own creations alongside his. She held truths he could tell no one else. She chose interdependence from complete independence. She kept growing, kept evolving, kept becoming. She created peace when his world was war, and she shared his values at the deepest level. They've been married for years now. The world has watched them as it watches everything he does. But the world doesn't see what happens behind closed doors. The quiet mornings when they're just two humans. The difficult conversations that resolve rather than fester. The partnership that has weathered storms that would have destroyed lesser bonds. The trust that has only deepened with time. He looks at her sometimes with something like wonder. Not because she's extraordinary in the ways the world measures, but because she's extraordinary in the ways that matter. She stayed when others would have left. She held what no one else could hold. She chose him, not the billionaire, not the visionary him. And she keeps choosing, every day, in ways small and large. She keeps choosing. That's what marriage is. Not a single choice. A continuous choice, made over and over, through decades, through changes, through everything. She chose him. He chose her. And they keep choosing, forever, or as close to forever as humans can get. And in that choosing, that continuous, deliberate, daily choosing is the thing he's been searching for all along. Not just love, not just partnership, but home. A person who is home, wherever they are, whatever is happening, she is home. And he finally found it. Not by seeking the perfect person, by finding someone with the qualities that create perfect partnership and committing to that forever. Here's the deeper lesson. What Elon Musk looks for in a wife is what everyone should look for. Not surface compatibility, deep foundation, not present chemistry, permanent character, not what makes you feel good today. What will hold you both through 50 years of tomorrows? Marriage isn't the next step after dating. It's a fundamentally different commitment. It requires different qualities, different assessment, different foundation. The person who's exciting to date isn't always the person who's right to marry. And the person who's right to marry might not create the most initial excitement, but they'll create something more valuable. They'll create lasting, they'll create sustainable, they'll create partnership that holds through everything life throws at you. That's what Elon Musk would be looking for in a future wife. That's what you should be looking for. And that's what you should be developing in yourself. Because the best way to find someone with these qualities is to become someone with these qualities. Like attracts like, deep attracts deep. And the person who embodies wife-worthy qualities will attract someone who recognizes them. So here's what I want you to take from this. What Elon Musk might look for in his future wife is loyalty that survives everything, genuine partnership, not mere companionship, the ability to hold complete truth, independence that chooses interdependence, commitment to perpetual growth, peace as the default state, shared values at the deepest level. These qualities create lasting marriage, not just for billionaires, for everyone. They're the foundation on which forever is built. If you're looking for a wife or husband someday, look for these qualities. And if you want to be someone worth marrying,